beautiful evening to you right here in the city of Lagos. This is basically where VOP 90.3 FM is located. Welcome. This is a Friday edition of the Evening Rush, and it's a Friday. It's precisely December 6th. Every day I say the year is gradually winding down, and it's quite an interesting one. Today is Friday. There's quite a lot to actually decompact, and I must tell you that I'm one of such persons who is excited to have those intelligible conversation with you. Now, one of the things we do here on VOP 90.3 FM is that every of the program that we actually read out here live is actually streamed. The idea is that you can go back to it if you miss whatever content is, that we actually read out on this platform. You can virtually carry yourself along with whatever it is discussed here. So go onto YouTube. Virtually, it's a 903 FM. So you can watch us live in the studio, wherever it is you are in this country. So you are not conscripted or isolated to just Lagos. Anywhere in the world and anywhere in the country, so long as you have your data, you can watch us live and be part of the conversation. It's interesting for us to actually do that. So you and anyone who is interested or who wants to understand why it is important to follow up with issues within our social political landscape can follow up and actually join live by sending your comments on YouTube or sending us WhatsApp messages, as I'll call the number out here, as well as call us via the telephone. So officially I welcome you to the Evening Rush. My name is Esther Wachuku. You can actually follow me on YouTube or subscribe to my YouTube channel as well on Estic Media on YouTube. That's ESTIQ. Estic Media, ESTIQMEDIA. There's quite a lot of content in there for you to actually, enjoy, digest, and contribute to most of the focal topics that are usually reeled out on that particular platform. So what are the issues that we're going to be looking into today on the Evening Rush? And I'm not going to just focus on all these issues. At some point in time, Nigerian Wahala will just tire. So at some point later on, I think around, let's say past 8 or so, we're going to go into something quite light. Today is Friday, and I would like to pick your brains or pick your emotion on some certain things that we're going to be talking about. Okay, so something happened again today. You know that Dele Faritimi is within the custody of the police at Ekiti State. While the Nigerian police, they have actually filed 12 fresh charges against him before the Federal High Court in Ekiti State over allegations of cybercrime. Now, when this information came out, the talk was that this was deliberately done so that when the police files the fresh charges, they wouldn't have to go look for him. He's already within their custody, so they can produce him in court. I'm going to be speaking with a legal practitioner to tell us how serious this issue is. If you have looked into Dele Faritimi, what he wrote, it's quite interesting because I think he knew or he knows that when this book is published and the persons he referred to read it, he had actually implicated certain persons. And the Nigerian judiciary is a very sensitive sector. The international communities too are monitoring. So when you make statements like this and you actually name names, obviously you must have your evidence to back it up. And I do hope he has, because this case is a defining moment for Afe Babalola and Dele Faritimi. For Afe Babalola, he's old, he's very elderly, and I think this is a way of trying to ensure that his name is not tainted before he eventually passes on. All right, after building a record for yourself over the years in this sector, you don't want to pass on with this kind of image or tainted image. So I think what he's trying to do is to correct all of whatever it is that has been said. And I do hope that Mr. Dele Faritimi actually has all the backings needed for most of the things that he reeled out in that book. Now, obviously, you also know that he appeared before the court on Wednesday, that was 2 days ago, following charges brought against him by the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Afe Babalola, under the Cyber Crimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015. Now, the police filed these fresh charges today to frustrate Faritimi's bail application and keep him in remand. Now, you know that Faritimi is supposed to appear in court on the 10th of this month, right? And ideally, everybody expected that on that particular day, Dele will be released. That's the plan, that he'll be released on bail while they continue to pursue the case. But with these 12 fresh charges filed, this may actually, handcuff the hand of the judge when a bail condition is supposed to be met, or if he's supposed to rule if he can go on bail. And that's basically what this actually entails. Also, some of the fresh counts read includes, I want to read it out to you, that you, Dele Farotimi, male, on the 28th of August 2024, knowingly and intentionally transmitted communication in an online interview on mic on podcast by Shehu Okumbaloye on your YouTube channel. The channel address was written in that particular affidavit. In respect of a book authored and published by you, titled Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System, wherein you stated in the interview that Are Afe Babalola corrupted the judiciary, which you know to be false. That's what the statement is saying. That is one of the statements written as part of the charges, the fresh 12 charges filed by the Nigerian police today. All right. Now they said, wherein you stated in the interview that Are Afe Babalola corrupted the judiciary, which you know to be false information, for the purpose of causing breakdown of law and order, thereby committed an offense contrary to the punishable under Section 24, subsection 1B of Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015 as amended. So, in other words, the police is saying that Dele Farotimi wanted to create chaos, a breakdown of law and order, by having to declare on that Mycon podcast that Mr. Are Afe Babalola himself is one of the major persons who corrupted the Nigerian judiciary. Count 2, that you, Dele Farotimi, male, on the 28th of August 2024, knowingly and intentionally transmitted communication in respect of the book authored and published, Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System, wherein you also stated that Are Afe Babalola corrupted the judiciary with the intention of bullying and harassing the named persons, thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under Section 24, subsection A of Cybercrimes Prohibition Prevention Act 2015 as amended. Count 3, that you, Dele Farotimi, male, on the 2nd of December 2024, intentionally sent a message in the course of a press conference held online on your YouTube channel actually written there, where you stated that it came to my knowledge that there is a charge speaking with Barrister Eze Eluche, because we need a legal practitioner to help us look into the issue. We don't want any sentiment. We want what the real deal is. No sentiments attached to the conversation. Okay? So another thing to also look into is the fact that in reaction to the situation in the country, we also heard activist Deji Adeyanju saying that the Nigerian police force, he actually allegedly disclosed that they are acting as tools for influential individuals and politicians. Deji Adeyanju made a statement in reaction to the arrest of a human rights lawyer, Dele Farotimi, on charges of defamation. And on Friday, while he was speaking to journalists, Adeyanju condemned senior advocate of Nigeria, Afe Babalola, for involving the police in what he termed a harassment campaign against Farotimi rather than pursuing legal civil remedies. He described the arrest of Farotimi at his Lagos office as a misuse of constitutional power. All right, so I actually have with me via the telephone Barrister Eze Eluche, and like I said, we need his legal purview on this matter. Barrister Eze Eluche, good evening and welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you? Can you hear me, Barrister? Hello.
Invite.
Yes, good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right, Barrister Eze Eluche, thank you so much for joining us on the Evening Rush. Barrister Eze Eluche, the police has actually filed 12 fresh charges against Dele Farotimi at the Federal High Court today, and they actually read out quite a lot on the counts. They stated that Dele Farotimi, via his YouTube channel, actually said that our Afe Babalola is one of the major persons who actually corrupted the Nigerian judiciary. They also mentioned in another of the count where they said in his book, which he published, Nigeria and its criminal justice system, he stated in the interview that he, RF Afe Babalola, corrupted the Nigerian judiciary, which Dele Farotimi knows. They said he
To be part of the democratic state, a state known to be part of the democratic state, a state known to be ruled by rule of law.
Okay.
Because the issue of defamation lies in the purview of civil actions. It's more of globally in the democratic societies.
Right.
It's a civil cause you can pursue, and there's nothing criminal about it. But in the Nigerian law, we still have laws such as Section 373, 374 of the Nigerian Criminal Code, which still criminalizes spoken word.
Okay.
I mean, and that is under which ground the Nigerian police is now using to act. But what makes this case particularly worrisome is the fact that it's alleged that Mr. Farotimi was already being tried and in Ekiti State, and it was made to appear to be not responding, not coming to the court, so that there was already a bench warrant issued on him, when in fact his residence in Lagos was not a secret place. So all these facts modeled up the entire issue. So if the man claims he was defamed, he should embark upon civil action. Sue the person who defamed you for the requisite offenses you claim, or the requisite word you claim were used to defame you. But in this instance, the Nigerian police has now come into this. And the way it's going about, it has brought the Nigerian judiciary to the fore. I mean, the entire world now is looking at what goes on in Nigeria. And as you can know, the book written by this Mr. Farotimi has become like a global bestseller.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to read it and know exactly what is going on with the Nigerian judiciary.
Exactly.
More particularly so when you juxtapose this with what transpired in the electoral decisions of the court in 2003 presidential elections, 2023 presidential elections, when the world also saw that something was amiss with the Nigerian judiciary. Now a book has come out that has detailed the rot in the judiciary. And by this criminal case, the police has treated against Mr. Farotimi, it will only gather more interest globally in what is Nigeria's judiciary all about. And I assure you, the outcomes will not all go well for the politics.
Barrister Ezra, let me ask you something. What if Mr. Dele does not have very strong evidence for all of the allegations and all of the claims in that book, and some of the things that he actually stipulated during that online interview on the Mycon podcast? What happens?
Well, I mean, if I get you right, you said if he does not have all the facts he alleged in the book.
All the evidences to prove, otherwise to substantiate most of the things that were written in that book and some of the things he said through his words.
No, I mean, because I have read parts of this book, and some of the language used even to address members of the bench of the Supreme Court, were most unfortunate. I mean, the languages used were on the verge of insulting, and I doubt if he has proof for all such language.
You think
because
so?
When you begin to this.
He was in the system. I said, you think so? He was in the system.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you're in the system, you know how these things work. Even if you perceive it, even if you have an idea of it, do you have the facts to prove that the Supreme Court justices are corrupt? Were you aware of this corruption? I mean, that is the problem this Mr. Farotimi will have.
All right.
Because he used very strong language to describe the Supreme Court judges. And then with regard to his issue with Mr. Babalola, he also used very, very strong words. But in that instance, the Supreme Court has also used stronger words to describe Mr. Babalola himself.
But
so that is why.
Okay.
Yes.
A couple of people feel that the president is also behind this. I don't know how, but they feel that, he mentioned the president as well. Let me read out an excerpt. All right? Let me read out an excerpt. Now, I have absolutely no problem with meeting every single writ that anyone might care to issue for libel, and the evidence of the truth that I've told are largely in the court's records. The last hope of the common man in Nigeria is lost, and the CJN might as well prescribe the removal of the colonial wig and decree that every judge should adorn the Tinubu cap in its stead. The Nigerian judiciary is the foundation of the impunity that has overtaken our country, and it must be redeemed before we might be able to regain our liberties first as human beings and then as citizens. He went ahead to state categorically that the executive is helmed by a man who is everything that should be nowhere near the office, but then a couple of people feel that it's a deliberate front, possibly, the permission of the president for this case to be pursued, because Dele Faritimi actually named the president as one who is donning the cap of most of the impunity within the Nigerian judiciary. So how do you describe some of these words? They're too heavy. And if he doesn't have the proof, are we going to expect Dele Faritimi to be in jail for a very long time?
Well, with regards to Mr. Bola Tinubu, I'm not sure Mr. Bola Tinubu will get you for defamation. Okay. Because those words are not far from the truth. And they can actually be, when you are able to establish the issues of the certificate issues in Chicago University, the fact that Mr. President claimed to have gone to a school that was non-existent when he went to that school, several issues. So I'm not sure Mr. President will ever dare about defamation in this instance. But then, so let us restrict ourselves to, and whether he's using this matter to, that's another ballgame. But the reality is that languages were used which were a bit uncouth, particularly to describe justice of the Supreme Court. And the bottom line is this. This is a matter of defamation. Our having it as a criminal issue has no place in the law books of any democracy.
Barrister Essa, he was very categorical in his statements. For example, he says that it is my contention regarding this case that Are Afe Babalola corrupted the Supreme Court to procure a fraudulent judgment in the service of his client. He will be required to bring proof for this. That the law firm of S.B. Joseph & Co. procured a warrant to execute the said judgment by doctoring the original judgment of the Supreme Court. These are heavy allegations which he needs to prove otherwise. That Are Afe Babalola, Olu Daramola, Olu Faro, and the law offices of Afe Babalola and Co., Emmanuel Chambers, compromised the Supreme Court and the remaining semblance of integrity it might have had when they went back to the Supreme Court and got that court to swim in the sewer of corruption and shameful self-abnegation. So that Afe Babalola libeled me, and the fact of the libel became known to me in his suit against Lawal Pedro, a senior advocate of Nigeria. That I sued Afe Babalola for libel, and that he leveraged his influence in the judiciary to deny me justice. So, with all of these words, like I said, there's a lot to decompact in there. What does this translate? What does this tell us?
I think Mr. Dele Faritimi let his professional, he let his guards down and descended into the flurry of using languages. I mean, he was not speaking here as a lawyer.
Okay.
Because as a lawyer, he should have been more circumspect, he should have been more cautious, he should have been more reserved, he should have been much more, he should have been using languages that he can easily prove. But most of these things that he wrote, it's almost impossible to prove. Unless you were there when the monies were exchanging hands, or you are privy to the accounts into which monies were paid and all that stuff. So it's quite, and then the issue now becomes, did he make these statements knowing them to be false?
Exactly. That's the thing.
To disparage or to destroy the image of the son, that becomes a poor issue. And then, of course, if that is the case, then a crime was committed. But then, of course, the issue of the image or the character of the person who is being sought to be disparaged also comes in. There was the senior advocate whose image is trying to destroy have an image that is worth destroying. I mean, that's also one of the things that will be factored in this matter. And when many people are making reference to the comments made by the Supreme Court Judge Alge in the case where Mr. Babalola was asked to pay 10 million naira fine for very despicable conduct as a lawyer. So now that's some of the issues that's now come into play. I mean, so it's really gonna this matter. I mean, it's on its own. So again, I'm looking forward to it. If they don't have an out of court settlement, it will be like a courtroom drama that the entire world will be eager to hear. Because a lot of mud was thrown in all directions.
I'm telling you. I do hope that Mr. Dele Farotimi has all the materials required to, back up all the claims that he had made in that book. Also, I actually want to stipulate something here, Barrister Eze, that if it happens to be true, then how do we quantify most of the judgments given? How do we quantify most of the cases, that were won by Are Babalola? How do we quantify the authenticity or the integrity of our judicial system and all its cases, specifically political elitist cases, if it happens to be true?
Well, the fact is, we in the last elections, our Supreme Court suddenly was unable to define what AND means, and our Supreme Court also become tongue in cheek to explain explicit provisions of our Constitution. They couldn't even explain it again. So the issue, this case will not determine how we view our justice system. The justice system already needs severe overhauling because the confidence of Nigerians in the judiciary has actually evaporated. So perhaps if the system now has to correct itself, perhaps they will use the opportunity of this court case. All the justices mentioned, if they are involved or if they are corrupt, then they should be found. A way should be found to excuse them from the bench. So this case will only bring to the fore some of these wrongs that we have known to exist in our justice sector. And it's not just all the judgments obtained by Mr. Babalola, because like I said, not too long ago, the Supreme Court had to even penalize him for very, very disreputable conduct before the Supreme Court. His neither here or there, the courts have made pronouncements on him.
All right. Barrister, let's look at this. The legal representatives of Afe Babalola, right? The founder of Afe Babalola University in Ado-Ekiti, they have asserted that the controversial human rights attorney, Dele Farotimi, will remain in custody until he substantiates his claims against the esteemed elder statesman. And this is serious. So the associates, the legal representative of Afe Babalola, are very serious. Dele Farotimi cannot substantiate and provide evidence, then he's going to remain in custody. And they want to ensure that he gives them all the evidence to prove otherwise, all the evidence that he had written in his book. They emphasize that the decision to bring the activist before the court was a necessary step for the law to address the allegations appropriately. Furthermore, the lawyers contended that Farotimi's actions were aimed at damaging Babalola's hard-earned reputation, which he has cultivated over many years of dedicated effort. And also, they made this statement at a press conference, which was held today in the capital city of Ekiti State. Also, the council addressed the media at the event, and they actually disclosed that all of whom, most of the persons there were chairpersons of the Nigerian Bar Association Ado-Ekiti branch. So, in response to Babalola's petition, the police in Ekiti State apprehended Farotimi in Lagos on Tuesday, subsequently presented him before an Ekiti State Magistrate Court in Ado-Ekiti on Wednesday, facing charges related to defamation against the elder statesman. Also, today, 12 fresh charges were filed. So, what does this stipulate? That it's possible that Dele Farotimi may stay within the police custody up until next year, because Afe Babalola is very serious. Now, others have actually put political inclinations into it. For example, both of them actually supported Peter Obi during the 2023 elections. So some persons say that it's a family matter. But this is way serious, and we are beginning to realize that this is a very serious case. Now, in this part of the world, people are used to making comments anyhow, unsubstantiated claims on persons, notable persons, celebrities, and they get away with it. If you go on social media, most of these political elites, even the party representatives, Peter Obi, President Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, you see a lot of claims against them, some of them unsubstantiated, which sounds as if they're true, but no defamation case is taken on anybody. So they're now asking, why is this one different? What precisely is it about this one?
Well, if the lawyers of Babalola made the statement you allege, they said they had a press conference that Mr. Fato will be in prison until when this matter is resolved, then they should understand that it is such reckless comments that they just made that makes people believe that the judicial system is messed up. Because a lawyer cannot be, a lawyer who's not even on the bench cannot determine the fate of somebody who is a defendant in a matter. So I hope they didn't make such reckless comment, because if they did, it even shows that this Fato cannot have justice in the state where they've taken him to, because they already know what will happen. And it's most unfortunate. In fact, such comments are what the police should even be investigating those characters for. If they really did make that kind of statement that Mr. Fato will be in detention until when he is able to prove it. And that statement is actually stupid. Why it is stupid is this. If he has to prove that these things are true, he cannot prove it from the detention center. He must be allowed to go and gather his evidence. So, I mean, I hope that the lawyer did not make that statement that she misquoted them. Otherwise, if they did say that Mr. Fato will be in detention until this matter is finished, then this case, I mean, it only goes to buttress all the allegations by Mr. Fato that the system is messed up. So, I mean, that is so on that issue. Then, with regards to the other, whether he was Mr. supporter of Peter Obi or other political issues, I think these are side issues. And yes, it's very likely that the effort to keg him or to shut him up or to put him away maybe because of his political beliefs. But the reality is this: the comments he made were very heavy and weighty and goes to the root of our judicial system. I mean, and maybe non-lawyers can afford to make such statements, and they'll say they were ignorant. But a senior member of the bar cannot be making such comments unless you have proof. So we look forward to seeing the kind of proofs he brings up, because he said he had proofs. In his book, he said he had the proofs. So what Nigerians will not tolerate from what's going on in the Ekiti state is anything like a secret trial. No. Mr. Fato must be tried in public. Otherwise, if there's any attempt for a secret trial, then Nigerians will believe that indeed, in truth, all his allegations are very correct. So the court should not make that mistake of trying to have a secret trial. The trial should be in the open. And I assure you, that trial, we have even international TV networks to come and cover it, because the world wants to know what kind of judiciary we have. And you know, the other side of this is this: when you seek to extradite Nigerians who are held abroad to come and answer to legal issues in Nigeria, no country will be willing to send anybody to Nigeria if they're not sure of the level of integrity of the judiciary and the transparency of the process. So it is in everybody's best interest that this case involving Mr. Fato should be tried in the open. A secret trial is absolute rubbish and will not be acceptable.
But is the police meant to file charges? Are they the ones that are meant to file those 12 fresh charges? Is it a responsibility of the police that's supposed to file those charges on behalf of Babalola?
No, I don't know the exact nature, but in some states, the police can still file charges in magistrate courts. Yes, the police can file charges in magistrate court. And the issues, this is just, it's like a misdemeanor. It's a small offense. The maximum,
in terms of it as small.
No. What I mean by a misdemeanor is not a felony. It's not a 7. It has maximum offense. Maximum penalty is 2 years imprisonment.
Okay.
If he's found guilty. That's why I say it's a misdemeanor. The police can actually file charges, but they're not filing it on behalf of Mr. Babalola. Babalola has made a complaint to the police, and the police, maybe after investigating, decided to file those charges.
All right.
So it's not. I mean, so and the case will be the state against Dele Farotimi, not Babalola against Farotimi.
All right, Barrister Ezra, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has disclosed that separatist leader Simon Ekpa was partying and having fun while pushing others to kill themselves. All right, now we know that Ekpa had been seeking to restore the defunct Biafra Republic and is currently in the custody of authorities in Finland. Well, he and his Biafra Republic government in exile have been enforcing a sit-at-home in the southeast region of Nigeria to demand the release of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kano. So, speaking during an interview very recently on a very monitored television program, Chief of Defense Staff Musa said Ekpa's activities have been troublesome for the southeast and have now affected the region's economy. So he says, I'm reading out what he said, there are a few people that really don't understand what the man's mindset is. He is having fun, enjoying himself, partying and doing all sorts, yet pushing people to kill themselves. Musa said Ekpa always owned up when the results of the orders he gave on social media surfaced. He expressed delight that the Finnish government arrested Ekpa after seeing reasons furnished by evidence of the Nigerian military provided against him. So on claims that the military intelligence is not enough to crush sit-at-home, Musa said the situation in the southeast is extremely difficult because it involves non-state actors. According to him, engaging non-state actors is different from conventional war because non-state actors are fueled by ideologies that don't present themselves boldly. So they're leveraging on technology because human intelligence for us is asymmetric warfare and it is critical. That is why he says that they must get the buy-in of the community members. So the question now is this. He has literally blamed the economic woes of the Southeast on Simon Ekpa. Meanwhile, there are a lot of Southeasterners that are complaining that all the military checkpoints should be dissolved. If you have all of those military checkpoints, how come you're not checking the insecurity activities actually perpetrating the region? And we say, how are arms infiltrating if you have such checkpoints across some of the regions in the southeast? How are the arms infiltrating the system, especially for these armed persons or unknown gunmen whom the CDS has claimed are members working on behalf of Simon Ekpa to unleash mayhem in the southeast and deteriorate the southeast economic status quo? What's your take on what CDS Musa said?
Well, my take is that to some extent, the Chief of Defense Staff was making sense and he was saying the fact, but then he muddled it up. Because this Simon Ekpa is not working towards the acceleration of any Biafra, of any republic. Simon Ekpa, in my own opinion, has just found this as a tool to enrich himself. Because he's a young man who has been based in Finland for decades. He doesn't know, he has not even been in the Southeast for several decades. So he's just over there cashing in on the emotions of the people of the Southeast. And indeed, having parties, making fun, going to his own work and earning money from every corner. So the system, the Nigerian system even use this character. Because most of the killings, most of the violence that is alleged to be taking place in the Southeast, it's not even, it's imported. It is not the people who are part of this. Yes, what I mean by imported is it is not the indigenous people. It's not the people of the Southeast who are involved in this. Not too long ago, Akai Dokubo confirmed from the auditorium of the State House that he was the one killing the Igbos in the Southeast water. This was his exact word. And nobody arrested him. So and the way these people who these called rascal elements or non-government, the way they operate and burn down villages, kill people, they are certainly not from the Southeast. So that's why I said, to some extent, the Chief of General Staff was making sense. But when he now attributes what Ekpa was doing to the violence in the Southeast, that is not true. The soldiers are everywhere. They are the ones who are burning down villages and causing more mayhem. the people are ready to actually protect themselves. And in several instances, the vigilantes set up by the villagers have been killed by security personnel. So what is he talking about? The reality is this. The Southeast, and when the CDS now goes ahead and says it is the issues that are disturbing the development of the Southeast, that is not true. In Borno State, in Jigawa, all those states, the developmental work is still ongoing. Billions of dollars of naira is being spent by the federal government to put down infrastructure. So why is the federal government not doing the same thing? And for this, it is the CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, is being wiser by himself by saying that it is non-state actors. It's all these criminal elements in the north, are they state actors? The Fulani herdsmen, are they state actors? But still, things are able to make progress in those areas. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is this. Yes, Mr. Ekpa has been taken out of the scene. Let us now see what next will happen. Why is the roadblocks, why are the security personnel, the soldiers and the policemen still extorting money from road users all across the Southeast? In fact, that is what I normally call, in fact, it is technically and practically armed robbery.
You know, Senator Ojo Zokalo actually made that statement. You know, he's a chairman, Senate Committee on Privatization. And he condemned the excessive security roadblocks mounted across all major roads in the southeast region of the country. In fact, the former Abia governor called on the leadership of the Nigerian army and other security agencies to dismantle such roadblocks, as such a strategy is obsolete and worsens the already tense security situation in the region. He actually made the call very recently. He said it through his opinion when he talked about Simon Ekpa, who was arrested in Finland for alleged related terrorist activities. He urged the Southeast governors to be resolute and ruthless in dealing with criminal activities of non-state actors, like he did when he was governor of Abia State.
The fact is this: these roadblocks are put there to humiliate and intimidate the people of the Southeast. I can mention to you about 5 or 6 spots at the airport junction, in Imo State Airport Junction, at Ihiala, at Wimidi, before the 9th mile at Enugu. At these various places I mentioned to you, all road users are meant to come down from their vehicles and walk. While the car moves, they now walk across the military checkpoint. At times, they even have to raise their hands.
Yes.
So you see, and all this is, it has zero security value. It is simply to intimidate and humiliate the people of the Southeast. So the Chief of Defense Staff should first of all remove those rascal elements from the roads. Then we will now be sure that they are serious with security issues in the Southeast.
So,
and the way these security personnel on the highway extort money from road users, they do it with impunity. No, they do it with impunity, and they don't give a damn if the Chief of Defense Staff is in the car behind. They collect these monies and give you change in. So it gives the impression that even the hierarchy of the police and the military are aware of this armed robbery and their men are causing on the road. So let the CDS not begin to roll his mouth on these issues. He should check in and ensure that his soldiers are doing what they should do. And they're being legitimate and not creating more crisis in the Southeast.
Barrister Eze, a couple of people believe that Chief of Defense Staff is actually just trying to downplay the activities of insecurity in the Southeast and by blaming it completely or entirely on Simon Ekpa. Some people have blamed the Nigerian government. Some people have blamed the Southeast governors for allowing the insecurity in the Southeast to accelerate and get to the point it has gotten to. Others are actually alleging that while Nnamdi Kanu was free, he was the one who incorporated the insecurity in the Southeast when he was giving orders to his followers to go to certain places, get arms there, and all whatnot. At what point did the insecurity in the Southeast become very potent? Was it not in 2020 when the insecurity became quite potent?
The insecurity in the Southeast, by 2020, the UNDP, that's United Nations Development Program, issued a survey that the Southeast was the most peaceful region in Nigeria. Now, that was the report that stoked the embers of hate. Yes. And then there was a deliberate policy to distort, to upturn that reality. Yes. And that was when this prison break, which I keep on referring to as the fake prison break, the Owerri prison correctional center release. It was actually released because over 1,800 criminals were let out of the prison. Not one single prisoner was shot. Not one. I mean, so that was the beginning of the insecurity in the southeast.
I remember, wasn't it when we were isolated during COVID? Wasn't it the COVID period?
Yeah, well, it was an event that happened. So beginning to trying to blame all this Emir of Kano or Simon Ekpa, it is neither here nor there. It is neither. It was a deliberate reaction to the declaration of the southeast as the most peaceful.
So we're saying that some elements who were not happy with that report deliberately decided to stoke insecurity in the southeast, which now brought in heavy presence of the Nigerian military within the southeast.
You are hitting the nail on the head. That is just the reality. Because in this same region, the government refuses to invest in any infrastructure project, no rail lines, nothing. And this evil has continued to move with this current regime. And you want the youth to be in their villages doing nothing? Of course, when you are not doing anything, the devil, like they say, is the idle man's workshop. So the reality is this: it is not a matter of don't blame them the kind of whatever. It is a well-orchestrated scam which has foisted insecurity in the southeast. It can be corrected overnight once the people are incorporated into the security architecture of their region.
Barrister Eze, during the NSAS protests, I know that some youth in Imo State, protested in a peaceful manner, but we didn't record the kind of volatile turn-up that Lagos experienced at the time. Could it be that period when the jailbreak occurred? Because the reason I'm asking this is, like you said, after the report was released, these elements that wanted to change the narrative of the Southeast, what did they expect to gain? A couple of people will say that the Southeast is landlocked. I don't even understand what landlocked means, because I don't think it stops the seaports from being, actually created there. I don't think it stops, more airports to be created there. I don't think it stops for road infrastructure to be created there. So I don't understand the whole landlocked situation. But if we look at this whole or entire ordeal, would we say that the military presence there exacerbated the insecurity there? Did it calm the situation in any way? Did it help the matter? And if it did not, and the indigents in the southeast are telling the Nigerian military that, you know what, we're no longer interested in this, your roadblock, it has not helped our situation, why not listen to them and go? And maybe let the people see how they can sort out what is going on in that region where we have unknown persons, implementing the mayhem there.
The reality is the roadblocks of our overwhelming military presence is just there to exacerbate the problem.
Okay.
It even heightens insecurity. And it is odd that in the northeast, northwest, where you have new terrorist gangs, Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, all infiltrating Nigeria, you don't have the soldiers there. They come to where there is peace. What is wrong? I mean, why can't they go and tackle the Fulani headsmen? And then they prefer to come to the southeast where there's nothing to do. So it is only the military presence and overbearing security presence is just to stoke the embers of violence. So they try to ensnare people to even react. That is the whole idea of these roadblocks. A roadblock that will be set up and to create a traffic of over 1 mile long. And they are just collecting money, nothing more at that end. So the issue is they should just remove this roadblock, and the locals, there's local mechanisms for peace and security in the southeast, which can be explored, and not this overbearing presence of an occupation force.
All right, Barrister Eze, the Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has sent a message of peace to his supporters. He urged them to avoid taking the law into their hands following the presence of security operatives at his palace today. Now, you know that there were tensions earlier today around 6:30 to 7 a.m. thereabout as security operatives blocked the palace of the Emir. They prevented him from attending a royal ceremony in Bichi local government area. Well, Emir Sanusi II was scheduled to preside over the presentation of a staff member of office to a newly appointed district head in Bichi. However, Heavily armed security personnel, including armored personnel carriers, were deployed to the palace gates, effectively barring his movement. Emir Sanusi II was scheduled to accompany the newly appointed Wamban Kano, Munir Sanusi, to his official district posting in Bichi. Now, we know that there have been incidents and recent developments in Kano's traditional leadership. Why do you think this happened? Is the traditional system in that region already being balkanized? What is the interest of any political elite within the conscripts of the traditional rights in there for what happened today to happen?
Well, the reality is at times the government gets its hands in too many pies and you wonder what their objectives are. The Emir of Kano is actually like the Bishop of Kano, because Emir is an Islamic title. It's not even a traditional title in a sense. It's an Islamic title. So all these issues of using the military, the armored personnel carriers, and all that stuff to prevent chieftaincy issues is ludicrous. And this at the time when the military is stretched at areas where they need to be confronting terrorists, confronting bandits, stopping the infiltration into Nigeria of this Fulani herdsmen militia. And they're rather going to stay at an emir's palace to prevent chieftaincy title. What is really going on in this country? I mean, we make a joke of ourselves, and it is this is what even encourages the miscreants who are armed to do what they can do, because they know that the government is more focused on political issues. And I believe the Emir of Kano is just getting all this attention because maybe he has taken stance that is not comfortable with the presidency. Otherwise, what has the military got to do? The military itself getting involved with chieftaincy installations. Okay, if you've stopped the emir from going in the daytime, who says you can't do it by remote or even go there at night? Or are you imprisoning the Emir of Kano? And do they even think in advance? Or, supposing there was a counter reaction, will they now start shooting at the people? So, I mean, these are not issues that we should be burning ourselves at this stage. It's like asking me whether the Oba of Lagos is going to give chieftain titles to his followers, then the military should come over there and pray. The military should be better engaged. And if that is what the chief of defense staff is sending his troops to, then he's misguided. That is not the role of the police, of the military rather. The military is for external security and not this kind of internal issues. The police are the ones that should be there.
Interesting, Barrister Eza Eluche, because I myself am actually wondering what could have happened. Now, before I let you go, something quite interesting happened at the National Assembly very recently, and that's Godswill Akpabio. Godswill Akpabio had to criticize a television station and urged Nigerians to discourage the coverage of their new tax reform. He actually accused the channel of spreading misinformation. In fact, he likened that particular television station, he likened the television station to what you call social media. You know, you have a lot of television stations on YouTube that are not terrestrial, and that's how he likened that TV station to. I want you to listen to this, because a couple of people said, are you sure you've not given that station publicity, unnecessary publicity, by you coming out to make the statements that you claim? So please just kindly listen to this. I hope you're able to hear. I'm going to put it on speaker. All right?
Okay.
Before we pass our second reading, set up in the event of any gray area. So if there's any governor, or any stakeholder in Nigeria, where no matter whether the person is a religious leader or a businessman that has problem with the bill, you know where to go to. Public hearing. The Senate will not be bullied. We are doing our work in the interest of Nigeria. And by the time we come up with our final position, it will reflect the yearnings and aspirations of Nigerians. And not only that, any reform that we can make, painful as the reform may be, so long as this Senate is convinced that it is in the interest of Nigerians, we will go ahead with it, with a view to bringing our economy on a forward march in support of the administration. But we will not also shy away from deleting or abrogating or stopping whatever we feel is not in the public interest. But for the tax reform bill, we believe that there are too many provisions there that would definitely help Nigerians. We can't imagine what it means for businesses that earn less than 50 million not to pay tax. We can't imagine what it means for multiplicity of taxes to be abrogated. We can't imagine what it means for people who earn less than the minimum wage or even minimum wage not to pay tax. So the exemptions are such that up to 100 million Nigerians will benefit from this tax reform bill. So let's not listen to social media. Let's not listen to Arise Television. And I hope they are well guided with the explanation of the Senate leader.
Barrister Ezra, did you hear Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, on that?
Yes, I heard everything he was saying.
So,
yes,
was that necessary? You just literally, and that was on National Assembly Television. They have their official streaming platform where all the activities within the National Assembly is actually, put on record virtually, and you literally just advertise at that station. Is this a way through which they intend to gag them? But they intend for them not to say certain things that doesn't fall in line with how they want things to be done? I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, when Babalola says they are speaking for Nigerians, Nigerians know better. This is the National Assembly that has approved every request for budgetary increase that Mr. President has asked for without even going through the budget items to understand what is requested for. This a Senate that has made itself a rubber stamp of the executive. And he thinks that by making such comments, Nigerians will think he's speaking for the Nigerian people. No, he's not. I mean, and anybody who has objections to it should be able to feel free to raise those objections. Anybody who has attended any of these public sessions, public hearings of National Assembly, understands that it's just like a rubber stamp approach. They will know who they will give the microphones. After 3 minutes or 5 minutes, it's all over. They go ahead and decide what they want. We can't really just leave everything to the top of members of the National Assembly because they have, at several times, they have not lived up to expectations. A National Assembly that came in, despite all the harsh economies, they gave themselves cars running to hundreds of millions each, despite what Nigerians were going through. So they do not speak for Nigerians. That is the bottom line. And with all these tax reforms, people should ask themselves, okay, yes, even if you're going to talk of where the issue is, the revenue is consumed, the tax is consumed, what of the source? The primary source of Nigerians' wealth is crude oil and now gas. Now, all these areas, the oil mineral producing areas, they are still living in abject poverty. And you have the country has the guts to talk of giving the tax money to states where they consume. Who says Lagos should have the highest portion or Kano should have the highest? That place like Olubiri, Ebema, Port Harcourt, all these areas where this wealth comes from are living in abject poverty. So the issue should not be tax reform. The issue should even be addressing the revenue allocation, revenue sharing, and revenue contribution formulas. And this whole idea of starting from the tax issue, Mr. President simply wants to benefit where he comes from or his adopted state. That is why that's my take on it. Because the ideal thing should be let the arrangements be such that the areas where that lays these golden goose for Nigeria.
Exactly.
I don't know how many of us have visited oil producing areas. The people live subhuman lives. They can't go to fishing. They can't even breathe clean air. And somebody in Abuja or in Kano is talking of tax revenue. That's not the issue for now.
All right, Barrister Ezra Ulucher, I want to say thank you because I may actually have to call you back later. A couple of people may have questions that they want to ask you. Okay? A couple of persons want to make some verifications on some of the things that you said because the presidency concerning the tax reform bill has actually spoken up, and that's Bayo Onanuga. He said that there was no need for the Muslim North to reject the tax reform bill. He said there was no section of the bill that proposed taxing family inheritance, which is against Muslim injunctions. And this was in his post today on X, that is formerly known as Twitter. He clarified that income and not inheritance was recommended to be taxed in the bill. There are a lot of people who don't understand the tax reform bill. A couple of people feel that it's only going to favor a certain region where the president comes from, and that a lot of proper orientation is needed for all the regions, for everyone to understand the benefit of the tax reform bill. But Senate President Akpabio has disclosed that they will not be bullied by anybody or any region, that they're going to pass the bill because the bill seems to work and is better for everyone, that their interest in the National Assembly is for all Nigerians. Do you believe that the National Assembly members are actually speaking for all Nigerians? Whatever
I don't blame the Senate
that.
President. I don't blame him. Let him go to Isoko land. Let him go to Buguma or Tongia. Let him go to the oil-producing areas. Let him go and live there for 1 week. Drink the kind of polluted water they drink. If he did that, then the Nigerians will realize that the issue should not be tax reform. The issue should be how do we ensure that the goods that lay the golden egg is not maltreated, and not to begin to share the proceeds from this oil wealth while you leave the people from these oil producing areas in absolute degenerative poverty. It's unfortunate.
All right, Barrister Ezra Owuchari, so I'm going to let you go for now. We're going to be having a very, very short break. After the break, and then we'll actually go into the phone calls where you call in and tell us what you think based on the hot topic that we raised up today on the Hot Topic Pally on the Evening Rush. And then, of course, I think precisely at 8:30 p.m., we'll actually do what you call the step down. We'll actually look for something like today is Friday, and that particular segment is for adults only. So if you're below the age of 18 or 25, I would implore you not to join us for that conversation. So let's take a very short break. We'll be right back.
Hear that? That's ice cubes falling into a glass. You're burning for a drink. A shot of that Regal Deluxe will do. You need that smooth chill down your throat. That tingle in your senses that makes you shut your eyes. Before you take a sip, you like to watch the spirit mix with the ice. You bring it closer. You taste it. That right there, that was a smooth moment. A redefining moment. Open your eyes and enjoy the new Regal Deluxe, a gin-flavored spirit drink. Regal, crafted for your experiences. Not to be sold to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Thank you for staying with us. The Evening Rush is still on right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. It's time for us to take your phone calls, and the number to call is 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338 0817 1756 338. You can actually send us messages on the WhatsApp number in there, and also call us. We'd like to hear from you. Now, if you call and the number drops or the call drops, please send us a message, okay? Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Name and location, please. You have a minute.
This is Malik calling from Gawon X Custom Block.
All right, sir. Go ahead, please.
I want to contribute to this your program.
Please go ahead, sir.
Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, Malik. I can hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead. All right, Malik, kindly call us back. I think it's a network situation. You can't hear. So when you call, all right, I can hear you. So just go out ahead and say what you want to say. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Esther, I want to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you. What's your name?
Okay, my name is Evangelist.
Okay, Evangelist,
Yeah.
you called yesterday, right?
Yes, I want to contribute.
To the
But I'll
program.
send the message. My wife has helped me to send the message.
I've
but
seen the
I've not
message, so
responded.
just calm down. You get
Okay,
your
I've seen it.
response.
Thank you. God
Yes.
bless you.
So contribute to
So
the
what I
program.
want to, what I want to contribute actually, for the what I call the lawyer that the Ekiti
Deliver to me.
police. Yes. What they are doing to the man is unfair. It's unfair because they are fighting against his human rights. You understand? And because if the judges are doing this to their own members, that means they are fighting against democracy, and that is not good. Because when people now, the ordinary people begin to see how the way Nigeria judiciary system is going, they will not value any lawyer or any judiciary system again. And before you know, they may begin to hurt the lawyers or begin to look at them as their what they call child and paid lawyers. So that is not good. They are playing the image of Nigeria. And that is bad. So that's my opinion.
Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. I'm going to take you slow again. 0817 56 338. So send your messages if you try to call and the call is not connecting. I'll definitely read your messages. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello. Good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name and location, please?
Good evening, Esther Wachuku.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
Thank God it is Friday.
It
Happy
is.
weekend in advance.
Thank you.
My name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanje, Nikotu.
All right. You have a minute,
I want
sir.
to discuss on after Babalola versus Dele Parotini
Okay.
on his book, guys, Parotini's book, that is putting into trouble at the moment. From the speech he made before he was arrested and detained in a state, I think he saw it clear that he is going to be detained. And by so doing, that is guilty conscience as far as I'm concerned.
Guilty consent to who?
He who kills by the sword must die by the sword. That is Dele Parotini.
Okay.
You cannot libel somebody in such a defamative character, and then you think you go free. After all, he said that after Babalola first libeled him, and maybe that is the reason why. And then he went to court just because after Babalola had an upper hand, the case was
so you think it's a vendetta kind of thing?
So maybe that is the reason why he has now defamed After Babalola and libeled him in his book, which is very, very wrong. So you should face the consequences.
All right, thank you, Peter. Your 1 minute has been exhausted. We need to take all the calls, please. We're conscripting it to just 1 minute. We'll restrict your call to 1 minute so we can take as many calls as possible. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Yes, good evening. Name and location, please. You're live.
Hello.
I can hear you. Name and location, please. Go ahead.
Hello.
All right, when you call, I told you when you call and you can hear, just go ahead and say what you have to say. I can obviously hear you, all right? So let me take some WhatsApp messages now. This person says, that is Taiwo from Otta says, could it be that Precious has swallowed cockroach, meaning that in the next 9 months at this time, we'll be having baby? VOP, congratulations to the listeners on VOP. Wow, Taiwo, no, you'll see Precious on Monday. She had a very important assignment to attend to, so by the grace of God, she will physically be here on Monday and she will host her show. You get to hear her as usual, intelligibly give you what is needed to be given on this platform. Good evening, VOP. The more the issue of Dele Farotimi continues, the more the global readers of his book increases. Of a truth, Nigerian corrupt system is the most corrupt in the whole wide world. Ima from Isolo. Ima, do you have anything to prove this statement you made? If you don't have, you could be sued for libel or slander. Okay. Good evening. The jailbreak in Imo State was during the NSAS protest. Good evening. I reiterate that unknown gunmen are the killer squad of Asari Dokubo, and some Nigerian soldiers are also part of unknown gunmen. You didn't put your name. Okay, your name is Leo. I've seen all the messages you sent. Leo from Lagos. All right, Leo. Thank you. Hi, Precious. Good evening. Well, it's Esther Wachuku today, so it's not Precious, but you'll be seeing Precious on Monday by the grace of God. I greet your guest as well. This is Utomobong James, the current saga between Afe Babalola, a senior advocate in Nigeria, and Barrister Dele Faritimi will bring sanity and redemption to the Nigeria judicial system and galvanize the country towards a credible presidential election in 2027, hopefully. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. Oh, that's a drop call. Kindly do call us back or send a message on WhatsApp, which is 0817 1756 338. That's the WhatsApp number. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right. When you call, turn off what you're listening to. It can be quite disconcerting. Please, I'm confused here. Why is it that it is the police that is bringing out those charges against Mr. Dele? Why not Mr. Babalola himself, Onyekachi Nwachukwu from Ajao Estate? All right, Mr. Onyekachi, I'm sure you've heard Barrister Ezeluche explain that because I asked him the same question. Talking about the checking points in the east, I entered night bus back to Lagos. When we got to Imbidi Junction, you will have to pay 3,000 naira to military men there before they allow you to go. Our driver had to turn and take one way. All right, Onyekachi Nwachukwu from Ajao Estate. Thank you so much for that. Good evening, VOP Sister Esther. I greet you. As per the issue of Afe Babalola, Dele Faritimi, what rational thinking Nigerians are saying this? There is no reason for keeping Dele Faritimi in prison. What is expected of the judiciary system is release him on bail and charge him to court for fair hearing. I believe that before embarking on such claims in his book, he has clear-cut evidences. However, the whole world is unaware of the heavy corruption within the Nigerian judicial system, ranging from cars and houses gifts to 300% increment in their salaries, while almost the entire country's citizens are in abject poverty. Egege from Agege. Thank you, Egege. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name?
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. Name and location, please.
Good evening. This is Dayo from Fato.
This is who?
Dayo from Fato.
Dayo from Famba. All right, Dayo, you sound tired. Are you okay?
I've been sending message to you since Monday or Tuesday, and you've not been reading my message. Is it because it's long or what?
There's so many messages. All right, I try to read as many messages as possible. So I'm sorry if I wasn't able to read yours. However, thank God you've called in now. Go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you, Dayo. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, this after Babalola, he has been, the way he's acting now is rubbing his name on the mud, his integrity, all that he has stood for before. How can, the referral team is not just anyhow lawyer that you can campaign upon like this.
Okay.
He has built his reputation right some time. He has set a standard that I don't think many of Nigerian lawyers of today can be able to match him.
Okay.
No, so I don't know why Afe Babalola will go this kind of route. It's very unfortunate, and I'm sure this government knows about all these things, and that's why all this conspiracy and all these things, they know about all these things. I believe that this government should be charged for, should be charged for all crimes, intimidation, and every other necessary thing. Because you can't tell people should not voice out. They will charge you for treason and every other ordinary case like this. It's a shame. The work of us is doing the best of us.
All right, thank you, Dayo. Thank you for actually calling. It's been quite a while you actually called, all right? 0700 903 903 903. That is the number to call, all right? 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. All right, Esther and one mama. Thank you. The CDS and the military should go answer their case in the ICJ, that is International Criminal Court of Justice, of over 10,000 people killed in the custody of the military. He should stop coming to the media to make political statements like a mischievous politician. The military has lost its relevance, if it had any, in a country where one can't differentiate the actions of bloodthirsty security agents from bandits and terrorists. Almost seem like a competition on which organization or disorganization can kill Nigerians more. They commit barbaric and uncivilized atrocities, from illegal abduction, kidnap, rape, torture, extrajudicial killings, murder, and massacre. These are the trademarks of a country's military, and yet they are quick to point fingers at others while they ride on their wild ox of impunity in a lawless country where citizens' justice is a myth. And this is from Tay. Tay, did I call that right? Did I call your name right? All right, Tay. Good evening. All the military and security operatives in the southeast even sit at home on Mondays. Their presence is not providing security, so they should leave. As for tax reform, we were promised removing subsidy will save us $20 million, and yet we borrowed $2 million. The tax bill looks beautiful on paper. Who knows if it will bring more hardship in future? We don't trust APC government. From Chief Udo. All right, Chief Udo. Okay. Good evening, Esther, your guest, Nana from Okeafa. But what's new in what Delifari to me has said? I think this whole thing wasn't about Afe Babalola, but about the judiciary. But just unfortunate that he's at the center of it all, which was why his name was mentioned. It's no longer news that our judiciary and most of the judges are corrupt. Go and ask Senator Bukachua how he was romancing his wife in their bedroom to favor his colleagues in the court. I don't trust the judiciary and Nigerian judges. They are corrupt and nothing anybody can tell me or anybody will tell me. Good evening. How are you? Hello.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Name and location, please.
Yeah. I am Bright.
All right, Bright. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Medellin.
All right, go ahead, Bright.
There's something I want to say
Okay, please
about
go
this
ahead.
Babalola and the other lawyer.
Okay.
Yesterday I was listening to a sister station. You can imagine that one man called. Do you know what that man? He said that Babalola is an obedient supporter. That they are going to deal with him mercilessly. That is until that if they finish with him, they will never forget it in life. Until it's like this case is not an ordinary case. I guess so.
Okay.
It is not an ordinary case. You understand? And in the other case, I am from Southeast and I'm in Lagos now. Do you know why I live Southeast?
No.
These soldier people, they used to kill us like fowls. In fact, if they see you, you are IPOB member, whether you are a member or not, in as much as you are a young boy, you are IPOB member, they will take you away. And nobody will know the location they are taking you. You might not even return. So please, they should do something about it so that we will have peace in our region. You understand?
All right.
These people should talk to them so that we will have peace in our region.
All right.
That is my own contribution.
Thank you for
Thank
calling. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. And the WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. 0817 1756 338. So when you call, all right, and then the call drops, make sure that you call back or you send a message on WhatsApp. Hello, good evening, how are you? So this call has dropped, so kindly call back, all right? 0700 903 903 903. All right. Hello, good evening. Okay, the call keeps dropping, so let me read more messages. Good evening. The fight is not really between Mr. Afe Babalola and Mr. Dele. Rather, it is a charge of treasonable felony on Dele Faritimi by Brother Eyes of Nigerians to cajole the unsuspecting Brother Eyes of Nigerians, to cajole the unsuspecting ones amongst the people. The Nigerian state has been captured and requires resistance by the people now. Tochukwu Adele Thompson from Obanikoro. All right, Tochukwu, well done. Good evening, Esther. Good evening, Barrister. Solomon Asika from Mushi. It's a shame with what's going on in the southeast, whereby you come down from the vehicle you are in and raise both hands to pass a military checkpoint, which signifies people who have been conquered, but but after the Biafra Nigeria not. Okay, I'm not going to read that. Good evening, Esther. God bless you. Okay, Paulinus from Isolo. One woman reached out to me yesterday, and God bless you and her for me again. Amen. All right. In case anyone wants to help me. All right. Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Let Army and sister securities dismantle all the roadblocks at the southeast. They are milking our people too much. Churchill from Surulere. Good evening, Esther Wachuku. Please, my question is to the Senate President Akpabio and the members of the National Assembly. When the President bought private jet without presenting a bill and approval from the Senate, where was Akpabio and his colleagues? They are not representing Nigerians, but for their purse. Chikeze from Agon Palace Way. All right, Chikeze, well done. When it was Bobrisky's case, Senate called for them. It's now Babalola and Derifari to me. Senate is quiet. There is Godo, Mrs. Teju. Well done, Mrs. Teju. Good evening, Esther. I feel bad for the old man for taking this route. He's acting as a judge and also being authoritarian, saying he must be kept in prison unless he comes forward with evidence. This is very funny. He's a judge in his own case. For me, he's going down and nothing will save him. When those who live in glass house throw stones, feeling that whatever they do is done and nothing will be done, unfortunately for them, it will surely come back to them. This is the beginning of a bigger episode. Many cans would be open in the long run. And this is from Timmy. Timmy, well done. Esther, good job there. Just look at the way the real barrister is articulating his analysis perfectly. You will know the law and education passed through him well. He is well knowledgeable. Not like the one you were asking questions yesterday and he just kept saying stories, junketing and saying not factual things, misinforming the public. The difference is clear past DSTV. You did not put your name, and please don't make such slanderous comments. All right, please, okay? If you don't agree with what any of the analysts say, very good. But it doesn't mean that they are misinforming. All right? Okay, let me see this. Somebody's calling. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, just hold on. Let me see if I can connect to this. Hello, can you hear me?
Good evening, Esther Wachuku.
Oh, good
Yeah,
evening.
yes, I'm hearing you.
Finally. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Zeminade calling from Spain.
All right, Zerenadi.
Okay, Esther.
Sir.
Well, the chief of defense staff.
Yes.
Before you publish this thing, ask him the chief that in the state in their custody. Ask him first. Let him talk about this thing. The dead chief that died at the peak died in their custody, and let him just discuss himself. This is let another thing. Let them learn from this Finnish government, Finland government. These people started the investigation since 2021. And the Nigeria will just pick somebody before they start the investigation. Let them pick from that place. If you have they don't have any hand, these people have started their destiny on time. That is how things are done in a civilized country. Here, they will investigate first. They may take them 5 years to investigate before they pick somebody. But in that place, let him, and another thing I will tell this chief, let him, all these chief, people that just invade village and keep people. Why are they not picking them? Let them do their work, their place. Forget about Finland. Finland are doing their work. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
I can hear you.
Let me run over with this fellow Dele fellowship. This Dele. That is how this thing. The man that made this man king. If I'm looking for the book to buy, I'm looking for the book. If you want this proof or this witness, people, there are millions of Nigerians that witness that these things are corrupt. Judiciary are corrupt. So they should not take this thing as if this guy said it. They make the guy king the way they make Nandi king, Nandi Carlo king. Because this guy was just after this thing, that Nigeria should be okay. And the Jugari went out from nowhere, pick him. So they make him, this man have been remain king forever. The man said every truth in that this thing. I look, and then that Nigeria truth are bitter, but they will face it. They made the man king. That is what I'm. Let the chief of foundation think about how to just make sure that they pick up the terrorists in that place. They should decide that from Finland. Finland are doing their work. That is how things are done. Okay, have a great day, my dear. I'm happy to see it. Happy to talk to you. If you're on the past 1 week now, it's difficult to get this line.
Yes.
Okay, have a great day, my sister.
Thank you so much.
I don't know. WhatsApp is very difficult. Even now, try to both with me. People that call outside, I did not hear. Nobody's calling because of the network.
I think it's a network.
Okay, I pray let it be bounce back again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, have a great day, my sister. You're doing a great job.
Yes, thank you so much. All right. I think you can call the WhatsApp number. So you can call 0817 1756 338. Okay? 0817 1756 338. You can actually call the WhatsApp number. I think it's going through now. Thank God for that. Okay, good evening, Esther. For Daily Priority, it's unfortunate that Afe Babalola is dragging his name and integrity in the mud, using police conspiracy and cash and carry judiciary. It shows that this government wants to enslave and put Nigerians in a box. For Nigerians not to fight for their rights, this government should be charged to World Court for violation of human rights, harassment and bullying. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country, die from Faba. Please, Esther, they should amplify and expedite action on dismantling of military police checkpoints on southeastern routes. It's disheartening that one can get to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire faster than Lagos to the east in the same country. Months ago, I got to... Okay. Okay, I got to Onitsha around 5 p.m. only to get to my side of Imo State the following day, having slept in Owerri because of traffic around Ihe and Langbidi access. The most annoying thing being the order by soldiers to ask someone up to their grandfather's age to raise up hands before passing the long stretch. They should be sent to Sambisa Forest where their presence is required. Tony Anelli Ijagemo. All right, thank you for that, Tony Anelli. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Innocent. I'm calling from Amuwo, Other State.
All right, Innocent, go ahead, please.
Well done. Please, I want to talk about this Dele.
All right.
Nigerians should not take in the Panadol for that kind of person. If it is somebody like me now, that this man pick up, take it. Maybe people in Nigeria will not know. They will not even talk. They will tell me that it is my problem. So why I think, what is that thing now that Dele is now that is now making everybody calling that they should release him? It's not government that is holding Dele. It's Nigeria police and this Babalola, something like that. So all these things should be a personal issue. Let them settle their matter.
Okay.
If they go to court, I have a lot of cases in my own side now in court. Doesn't mean that you people should come and rescue me. I have to drag and make sure that I settle my problem. If it's the one I'm going to win, I win. If it's the one that's going to win me, they win me. That is what makes human being. So Nigerians should use their time for good things. Forget about this politics of calling this and that. APC does not know about that. It's personal issue. Let the man settle it by himself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another angle to look at it. So they're telling us not to buy ourselves in this matter. We should just be minding our business and be working out, doing our work gingerly. All right, this person says, good evening, Esther. On Monday, sit at home. Soldiers will run away because nobody to extort. But on Tuesday, they resume their extortion. Omema from Abulegba. All right. Good evening to you, Miss Esther, and your guest. To me, the National Assembly members are there for themselves. And President Tinubu definitely not for the poor, impoverished Nigerians who are still battling with a harsh economic condition they unleashed on us. They should also leave Arise TV alone. Please, Boyson from Afro Media. All right, Boyson. Esther, I agree to you. If Afe Babalola believes that the allegation is not true, why not take the matter to court through his lawyers? Why report the case to the police? Does it mean he doesn't know court process again? Mr. Mark from Okota, he has taken the case to court. Fresh charges have been filed, actually, against him. So, by the Nigerian police, all right, Afe Babalola, through the Nigerian police in Ekiti, filed 12 fresh charges of cybercrime against him today in court. So obviously that was the case I will be hearing on Monday. I do hope that Daily Farrington's legal team are strong enough to extricate him from the situation. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Esther.
Good evening, sir.
Esther, I'm still surprised. I'm still surprised why these army people roadblock all over the east. Why is it like that? We have been talking and talking. Is it because it's the Easterners? Well, how many checkpoints? If anytime going to Abuja, how many checkpoints do I meet in? Why going to Abuja? Why is it like this? Nigeria is so sentimental, very sentimental human being. Why the Easterners have roadblock all over, killing people unnecessarily? Even Esther, the things here, the people, army people are killing here with the Uzodinma is underreported. He's killing a lot of boys there. Killing a civilian, boys who doesn't know anything about the IPOB. Why Uzodinma has decided to be killing innocent people there? And then when you want to talk, he said, don't talk like this, don't talk, this and that. We will continue to talk. I continue to talk. Joe from Bariga, I'm telling you, the evil what Uzodinma is doing It is so critical. I'm telling you, before the man, I think when he resigns or when his governorship.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling from Ado.
All right, sir,
good evening.
go ahead.
You are going to talk about the roadblocks in the east.
All right.
All those roadblocks, the people there, the same people there are not representing us. They are not representing us. Those there to go and say they protect. They are the part of the problem we are having. So we don't let them take them away. We don't need them. How can they place it from one building to another? They say security checkpoints. From one building to the next building. We take it away. They are the root cause of what is happening in the east. And the government, nobody, those who are claiming that they don't know the lies. Those unknown government are strategic gang. He has said it in national television.
All right.
Asariti Kubo said they contracted him to deal with it. And the people are keeping quiet. They say, oh, the unknown government. How can people go and kill people? He said, Asariti Kubo and his people. Let them go and arrest him. Nobody. Okay, look at the court today. One court is Imodia, arresting Igbo people, detaining them. It's an Abuja, arresting Igbo people, detaining them. You see the whole thing. So, but when it happened on the other side, everyone, those people are not, they are Nigerians, they don't know Nigerians. God bless you, my brother, my dear. God bless you.
Thank you for calling.
Have a nice day.
You too. Hello, good evening. Good evening, welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes, name and location, please.
I'm Chooks from Sangota.
All right, Chooks, go ahead.
I've just noticed that the person who called before the last caller, he made a direct comment when he mentioned.
Can you project better? I can't hear you very well.
Okay, I said the person who called.
Yes.
Before the last person, he made a direct comment about the governor whom he claimed, was killing people. I think you should. That comment is a direct comment. I think you should try and moderate. It should be an alleged something.
Yes, I asked him. I said, does he have any proof to that? I remember asking him that if you are listening to my response to his question, I said, do you have any proof that the governor is indeed the one responsible for the killings in the southeast? I asked him that question before he went off.
No, that was when already he has made the statement.
No, that was not when he left. He was still on call, and then he had to buttress what he said. All right, but thank you very much.
So you really have to be very careful about.
All right, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all you have to say? You don't have anything more to say?
No, this is my station, so I wouldn't want any problem to tell you.
All right, thank you.
That is my interest.
Thank you. Right. Thank you for calling, okay? I was able to checkmate the caller. I asked him, I said, do you have any proof to this? Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Sister Esther.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is Fabulous. I'm calling you from Thailand.
All right, Mr. Fabulous. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's 2:33 a.m. in the morning.
Wow, you're really supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be sleeping, but I decided to call because I'm a full fellowship of VOP member.
All right, go ahead. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, real quick, Sister Esther. I just want to chip in that it seems Nigerians and several media, they are trying to exacerbate this Mazi Simon Ekpa issue more than they are pressing it more than they're supposed to press it. Nigerians have many other things that is happening. I believe there are many things that is happening they're supposed to focus on. The government is trying to distract Nigeria from the real issue. Simon Ekpa has been arrested now. They have been calling for Simon Ekpa arrest. Okay, now he has been arrested. The authority is in Finland. They are doing their job. This news they are pushing in Nigeria. They are not pushing it in Finland. We outside here, we have every access to many media. We are following the news from the media. They are doing everything secretly. But in Nigeria, they are spreading both positive news or negative news, spreading all kinds of news. So I will suggest that they should try to slow down and focus in other things that is disturbing Nigeria. And again, federal government should try and heed the callings of the elders and well-meaning Nigeria, particularly from Southeast. They should release Nnamdi Kanu to prove Southeasterners and Nigeria in general that they have Southeast at hand and they are interested to ensure that the security in Southeast improve. They have arrested Simon Ekpa. So let them prove Southeasterners that, okay, here is Nnamdi Kanu. Is now released. What do you want? From there, we will move on. And from Delta, sorry, let me conclude. I'm from so-called Delta State, mind you, please. I am from so-called Delta State, but I call this so-called my sister because me that is speaking to you, I was thinking that I'm not an Igbo man until 2015. Until 2015. So, but now I will always remind people that is hearing me that they say that I'm from so-called Southeast, but I am Igbo son. Thank you, sister.
All right. Before you go, right? The case of Simon Ekpa is a developing story. And this was a response of the Chief of Defense Staff because questions are being asked as to why Nigeria is pressuring Finland about Simon Ekpa when the Finnish government said that they are still investigating the matter and the case is ongoing there. And so this is what the Chief of Defense Staff said. You can check it out. It's on the news, where he had to respond to the fact that basically while people were dying, just basically blaming the insecurity, the death of a lot of people on Simon Ekpa. So it behoves of us when what you call authoritative figures make statements like this to talk about it, whether we like it or not. These are information that is in the news. Okay. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Where is this call coming from? Okay. Hold on. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. No, I don't know what I'm doing again. 0700 903 90. Okay, fine. Let me start off with this particular message. Please kindly call us back. Okay. Call us back, please. All right? Call back. I would appreciate if you call me back so that I can hear what you had to say. It's very, very important for you to do that. Austin, I need your help. The WhatsApp. I need to be able to connect to the WhatsApp. Thank you very much. 0700 903 903 903. That is the number for you to call. Austin, can you hear me? I need your help here. Please help me reconnect to the WhatsApp here. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. Hello?
Can you hear?
Yes, good evening. How are you? Me? Yes, I can hear you now. What's your name and location? I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead. I can hear you. Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Maybe you're hearing me. Let me just
go ahead.
Say what I'm saying. Hello?
All right. When you call, make sure you know that I can hear you.
Okay, let me talk. You are hearing me now. Please, yes, I know you can hear me now. Let me talk, please. I am the Mr. Paulinus from Esolo. I beg. My boy is crying for hungry here. My boy is crying for that. Make them help us. Make them help us. I beg. Talk to them. Make them help us.
Good evening, sir. When I come out.
All right. Okay. Thank you for calling. I sincerely appreciate that. I have another call coming in, so let me respond to this. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. What of prep play now?
Don't worry. She will be resuming on Monday. She traveled. She'll be back
Monday. Esther, first of all, I just want to encourage for the family of Barrister Dele that they should get hurt because what they are doing now, they're promoting him. They're making him taller more. Nigeria know how to make people tall. Mm-hmm. Secondly, about Army Chief. Army Chief know what is happening and they know what's supposed to do. Before, people are calling from Sierra Leone telling you that Simon Ekpa is working for federal government. Today, where is Simon Ekpa? And secondly, if they want to know Simon Ekpa is not under Mazi Nnamdi. Let them release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let me see whether he will not surrender to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is my take, Esther. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to stop here, all right, because I remember telling you today is Friday, and in a few minutes' time we're wrapping up the program. So please, enough of all the political talk, Daily Fire, Timmy, Simon Ekpa, Chief of Defense Staff, and all of that. Let's say for adults, today is Friday, right? And one of the things about Friday for a couple of people is to relax. They like to go to the bar, have some drinks, enjoy themselves, try not to talk about politics or even family. They try to look for anything that could be quite distracting to, have fun. So here is a story. I'm going to reel out the story to you, and you're going to tell me what you would do if you are in that situation. So please, when you're calling, don't call to talk about Simon Ekpa. Don't call to talk about Nigerian military. Don't call to talk about tax reform bill. Don't call to talk about anything that happened in Kano State. This is a different segment. It's just a cool off segment. It's Friday, all right? So here is the thing. There is a couple, and the husband, that's the man, got entangled in an extramarital affair with a very young lady of 20 years, which a couple of us will say are Gen Zs. So this is where things get quite interesting. This 20-year-old girl introduced this man, whom you would call like an elderly man, sort of, because he was in his late 40s, late 40s. So he's 20-something years older than this young lady. So when they got into their relationship, things got quite interesting. Now, this young lady, whom a lot of people will refer to as Gen Z, introduced this man to a couple of interesting extracurricular activities where they had more than one person or more than 2 or 3 persons, and the man actually loved the fun, all right, of the activity that was, into that whole thing. Now, things got so interesting that for the man, he was just having fun. Basically, that's what it is, because he's married. Now, this young lady decided to go emotional. She got emotional and wanted the relationship to be isolated, no longer having any third or second party or fourth party into their extracurricular activity. She got so personal, she fell in love with this man and wanted this man for herself. So she started making threats. For example, she would send him messages and tell him that she wants to see him in the office. The man would say, no, I'm working. You can't come to my office. She would say, okay, when do I come to your house? When would you introduce me to your kids as your special one? The man would say, I'm married, and you know that I never promised you anything serious. We're both having fun. There was an agreement from the onset of this thing. Then this lady went wild and said, I will kill myself if you don't introduce me to your family, if you don't make it become something more than what we had. And the man said, no, don't do that. What do you mean by that? This is not the agreement. And she goes, she loves him so much. I love you so much. Like, I can literally, by myself if we don't become together or end up together. So she literally actually did attempt what she threatened she would attempt on herself if the man doesn't subscribe to what she was proposing. So while she was in the hospital and they were treating her, when she came to, she kept calling this man's name. She was calling the name, and the parents were like, who is this person you're calling? She said, it's my sweetheart. He's the one that caused this. He's the one that caused this. So she now gave the parents the details of this man, his office address, including his home address. I need you to listen carefully. So the parents now went to start looking for this man. They asked the man, what relationship do you have with my daughter? She kept calling you, and she said you're the one that caused her being in the hospital. She almost lost her life. The man said, I don't know her. We're just friends. We met somewhere, and that's just it. I don't have any personal relationship with her. The girl said she does, that she has evidence to prove otherwise, and that this is the person that she wants to be with. If not, she will die. And the parents are milking this whole thing. Things got so bad that this lady sometimes would appear at his office literally wearing nothing and shouting and crying, and the man would be like, what is going on? What have I gotten myself into? So when all of this audio got so worse, and the lady said she would, expose him because he works with an international organization, she said she would expose what he does. She knows his wife and his kids and all that. The man now had to open up to the wife. Now the wife now said, okay, no wahala, but you can do what, I don't know how you want to deal with this case. don't bring the embarrassment to my children. Don't bring the embarrassment to my children, and make sure that this girl does not come to my house. But guess what? She did come to his house. That the security at the gates had to be shouted on to take her away like a bag of potato. So my question to you is this. If you were that man that got involved in this extracurricular activity with this young girl within an age bracket of 20 to 21 years, conscripted to be of the Gen Z generation, and ideally the whole thing was for fun, which he found quite interesting because she really introduced him to a couple of interesting exercises, what would you do? And if you were the wife of this man, how would you handle this case? Would you toe the line that she toed, or would you do something extra? What's your angle to this? The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. And on WhatsApp is 0817-1756-338. Remember, no more political talk, okay? Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, fine, Esther.
Yes.
Actually, the truth is that we need to fear God.
Okay.
You understand?
What's your name? You didn't tell me your name.
If I say my name is Evangelist. I say it now, you can tell her.
Okay, Evangelist, you said we need to fear God. Are you referring to the conversation that we're having now?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
If I did not get a speaker, I will still go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
But I need that speaker for the work of God.
Amen.
So let me go ahead.
Okay,
So let me go ahead. So actually, what demands because you know he has really mad. Even the Bible says God is the content. And if you want on your man, why?
You're breaking, no, Evangelist. You're breaking.
Hello.
Okay, I said you're breaking. Hello.
Okay, are you hearing me clear now?
Yes. Now go ahead. Yes.
So the truth is that you say what a man sow is what he will reap.
Okay.
So what the lady did is what she's sowing now. The lady should run away from that marriage. If not,
the wife,
God Almighty may judge them, and she may even end her life. So she should run away from that marriage.
Okay.
She should not start that person home or person marriage. That is bad. So for the man, in fact, history will judge him because what he did is a bad thing. And if that girl still makes cause on her, it may affect him. If the girl swear for him, it may affect him in the future.
Right,
so
thank you, Evangelist.
Thank you. Please help me with that speaker. God bless you.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, how are you? What's your name, please?
Good evening. How are you? My name is Joval.
Joval. Welcome, Joval. We're not discussing politics.
Yeah, I'm aware, and I want to appreciate the fact that your WhatsApp line is working now because I reported the other time.
Yes, you did. Thank God it's working now. Please go ahead.
Esther, please, this story now that you read, I actually caught off on the. Did they have like relationship like one time or one whatever thing?
It's more than one time. I said they had extracurricular activities with more than like.
Okay, outside of marriage. Okay.
Yes.
So now the girl is loving what she had with the man. That's why she's after him.
She's saying that she's going to, if the man doesn't become hers personally, she doesn't want to share him anymore.
It's obvious that she's ready to be a second wife.
She doesn't
or possibly
even want to
she's
share him
planning
anymore.
to displace.
She's commit to whatever if the man doesn't.
Okay. You see, the truth is this: people should learn to keep their boundary, especially when you don't know the type of spirit that is in the other person. That girl is not an ordinary girl, from what I can see, and that girl is on a mission. Her simple mission is to destroy that marriage the man has been enjoying before he had that one time or one night stand with her.
If the man was enjoying the marriage, why did he get involved with her? Someone that he's like more than 20-something years older than, and he was enjoying the activities, supposedly, with more than one person, more than one woman.
Esther, the man got distracted, and she went to the flow. And right now, what he is having is the reaction of his action. And that's why, like I said, the girl is not an ordinary person. She's on a mission. She will not rest until she destroys the man. If she truly loves the man, she won't cause him problems. She won't cause him pain. She won't want to kill herself so that the man will be held responsible. So that's not love.
Okay.
That is destruction. So it is an advice for people, not just men, women as well, everybody, to be very careful and watch out.
Very, very good.
Thank you, Esther. You have done so well, and I can't wait for Precious to be back. You've done well.
Thank you so much.
You have done very
back
well.
on Monday.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening. How are you? Can you hear me? Oh, that's a drop call. Okay, you can call the WhatsApp number and send your messages on 08171756 Okay. This person says the girl is a Karashika. The man must be related to to Balthazar, the Equatorial Guinea man. The man should report her to the police and sue for defamation and harassment. What if the man doesn't want people to know about the whole thing? Because the parents are threatening to expose him because they'll be milking him, taking money from him. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. Kindly call back. 0700 903 903 903. Okay, this person says, well, the man has done everything. The relevant people are aware. That's what happens when you get involved with obsessed people. If he gets married to her, she can poison his wife and kids, even kill the man one day. The only way to do away with such people is treat them the same way they treat you. If she's 100% obsessed with you, show her 1000% obsession till she starts running away from you. If she wants to see you 10 times, request to see her 100 times. If she wants sex 10 times, request sex 100 times from her. She'll get irritated and leave on her own. Wow, interesting. WhatsApp is working, Esther. Yay! You didn't tell me your name, so you can actually call and we'll pick your call, okay? Since WhatsApp is now working. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, how are you?
Hello, good evening. My name is Innocent. I want to say that man that said he needed somebody to help him.
Yes.
If it is possible, just send the account number or let the man send the account number. Yeah, we do something. Just
all right, okay.
Help
all right.
him and his children.
To your WhatsApp
number. And again, for this story, he said now, for me, if it happened to me, when I see that I've done all I can and the lady does not want me to go, I will arrange you one of my friends that have not married so we can play together.
How?
Maybe that love is position on my own side. Maybe the young lady will now take it to that my friend. I will not sponsor them to be friends, boyfriend and girlfriend. I will not run away from there. That's what I can do because I cannot kill myself. I will just let my wife know first. After that, I will not arrange one boy that is okay, that can do what I can also do. I will arrange them. From there, play. Maybe the lady will now see that I'm married and leave me and join my friend.
Okay.
I will give them whatever they can use to help themselves to start
no
from there.
wahala. Nice one. Okay. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. All right. And you can send your WhatsApp messages to 0817 1756 338. Good evening, VOP. I don't go YouTube, go see Esther face. Make Precious. Oh, now. Angel Perenge from Alapadu. Angel, why don't you do this? She's going to be here on Monday, okay? This person says the girl is fall in love, so he needs to be careful. Moru from Dokpemu. Okay, Moru, how should he be careful? That's the question. How should he apply wisdom? Okay, that's the thing. How should he apply wisdom? Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello. All right, that's a drop call. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp number is 0817 1756 338. That's the number to send your WhatsApp messages to. Good evening. Good evening, Esther. The lady age is playing a bad role. The man should reject the girl. After all, most people are now aware of her mission. Emeka from Abeson Estate. All right, Emeka. Well done. Well done, okay? Still send your messages. The man should send the family on holidays outside the country and settle the issue with the girl. My name is Dr. Deployer Esquire. Interesting. Dr. Deployer Esquire. This your advice. It be like say, okay, make her no talk. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call, and you can send your WhatsApp message on 0817 1756 338. Good evening. I enjoy you, Esther. Let's enjoy you before ABC Woman Leader will come back. Olakule from Epwekata. Olakule, I'm going to report you to ABC Woman Leader when she returns. Okay. We'll soon be wrapping up in a few minutes' time right now at the moment. I would like to still hear from you what you think concerning this particular story that I reeled out to you. What would you do if you were in the situation of the man and if you were the wife? Would you tell the man to go and see how he will sort himself out and tell him not to embarrass you or your children? Or like somebody advised here, you would take the family on a holiday and deal with the lady. Hello, good evening. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. Hello? All right, do call back. All right, do call back. Good evening, Matt. Please send me the man's account number. The man with the child that called earlier. Ayo from Ogun State. All right, I'll send you the number. I think his name is Paulinus. Paulinus has actually sent it. I'm going to check it now and type it to you. Thank you so much, Ayo. All right, God bless you. God bless you so much. I'll send it to you after the program is done, okay? Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, Esther, for me, this Mazi Douglas, for me, right. I know that man may be Igbo man. If be Hausa, because if it's Hausa man, Hausa will marry her second wife. If it's a Yoruba man, Yoruba will marry
Douglas,
her.
where are you calling
Igbo
from?
man will not marry her.
Where are you calling from?
You know?
Where are you calling from, Mazi Douglas? What would you say of all tribes? Did you mention Yoruba? You say Igbo.
Esther, the last thought again is that if you know you are married, you have a side chick. You don't use all your muscle aside. You know, when you use all your muscle, always, you know what is that is the problem. So you don't use all your muscle when you have a side chick. Use that muscle in your own wife. That's my take.
Thank you,
God bless you,
Douglas. Thank you so much. I said it must be an Igbo man, just like that. Wow. The girl doesn't know anything about marriage. What the girl is in love with is not the man, but his money. Because the man has been spending a lot of money on the girl will get tired of all the fantasies soon. So the man should not be deceived. Chemera from Agora. Chemera, she actually attempted, I don't want to use that on national radio, and she was taken to the hospital. She almost passed on. So how would this man deal with it? This is more than the fact that she's in love with his money. Somebody said the man should go to another state and delete her number. Moruf, period. Okay? Esther, if it's me, I'll be doing some things that will make me look like I'm a ritualist. Then she will run away. Kenneth from Bangladesh. Wow. Interesting. Men should always look for a mature side chick or a young widow. Wow. This guy. This is from Chief. Okay? This is from Emeka. Emeka, you're a bad boy. See your advice on national radio. So you're even suggesting that you should look for a mature side chick. Oh, God. See you. Okay, Abu from Ogaoluwa Unipacha. I blame the man for messing up Shah, but the girl never jammed man. That's why she's doing that. I pray she meets her match. Wow, woo, Oshay. Good evening, Esther. Please send me the account number of the man who called for assistance. All right, call. I'll send you the number after the show is done. Thank you so much for sending that message. The man knows how to wash plate. Oh, God. Very well. That's why the girl doesn't want to leave him. My name is Chiji. Okay. Well done, guys. Well done. This person also says, Esther, Good evening, Esther. The truth remains that the girl is a destroyer on mission to cause the man serious damage to his home. She can't give the love she did not have, but she will cause more harm beyond imagination if the man doesn't withdraw by force. Nii from Agege. The man wants to withdraw. He has actually withdrawn. No, Madam said she's going to harm herself if the man doesn't do the needful in terms of getting married to her, getting serious with her, bringing her into his home. So the girl don't love die. And the parents are taking advantage of the whole situation, collecting money from the man and threatening to expose him because he works for an international organization which will bring a bad repute to him. He could lose his job and also expose the wife and children to so much ridicule. So right now, the man is between the deep blue sea and a very hard rock, a very strong tall wall rock. So what should he do? I've read some of your messages and some of what you think. Mary from Ekafa says a young girl was informed from the onset that he was married, but she went overboard and is determined to destroy the man's career and marriage if he doesn't dance to her tone. The man should confront the girl's parents and explain everything to them and make them know that they were just friends and he should want to drop the relationship. Well, he has. The parents say that the man should have known that she's a small girl because the man is about in his late 40s and she's between the age of 19 and 20. So literally, she's considered to be a child. So they felt that the man is to be blamed. In fact, they called it child abuse. So they are taking advantage of the situation. The man is rich and they're asking for money from the man to keep quiet, to keep silent. Good evening, Esther. Please tell the girl. Tell the girl that I'm available. She should come over. I'm John. John. You're a bad boy, John. Hello, good evening. Wow. Please, when you call, turn off your radio. Please. Hello?
Good evening, DOT.
Good evening. Yeah. Turn off your radio. Turn it off completely. It's disconcerted. I'm going to take one message and one call, and then we'll wrap up the program. Okay? Because we have some adverts to play. Okay? 0700 903 903 903. That's the number, and you can actually send a WhatsApp message to 0817 1756 338. 0817 1756 338. John Ike still wrote, Esther, I need a girl like that. You are a very bad boy. Okay, we've rounded up today. Hello, good evening. You're the last caller. What's your name? Hello? Hello? Hello.
Hello, can't you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Level from Papa.
Yes, sir. Please, can you speak louder?
Can't you hear me?
Yes, you sound faint. Go ahead, though.
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
Can you go ahead? Because we need to wrap up now.
Okay. So, I want to advise you. To try and use the so try.
I can't hear you. The line is really bad. Good evening, Esther. You have a sweet, soothing voice. Thank you so much. The man's wife is supposed to invite that girl and deal with her later and know how to. You didn't complete what you were writing. All right, we've come to a wrap on the evening rush. Thank you, all of you, for sending your messages and calling and being part of the conversation. I sincerely do appreciate all of your input. For all of you who contributed via WhatsApp and via the call and also via YouTube, thank you so much. I sincerely do appreciate all of your logical thoughts, your recommendations, and contributions to the program. I'm signing out. Thank God. On Monday, definitely you see Precious here. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Estic Media on YouTube. That's ESTIQ. MEDIA, ESTIQ, MEDIA. On X is Esther Wachuku at Esther Wachuku, and on Facebook, Esther Wachuku. On Instagram, Esther Nwaz. That's ESTANWAZ. Good night. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank God it's Friday. Have fun, but in a safe way. Don't put yourself in trouble. All right, it's very important to take that. Don't put yourself in trouble. Bye for now.